Jean is not a safety. He's just a corner who'll lock down your number one. DeJean is CB1.
Never heard that?
No, never heard.
Said his white ass can.
White as can be. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cooper DeJean with the pick 6 in the Super Bowl. Our Philadelphia Eagles came home with the dub. The way we said it could be dominant, and it was way, way worse than anything I had imagined, but just too well-oiled of a machine for 15 and the Chiefs to come in and stop us.
Bro, the craziest part is we're going to talk about it in depth later in the ep. But that D-line, there was no blitzes.
Oh my gosh, I know.
No
Second most sacks
bro.
ever. Like you said, we'll get into the details.
Insane.
But yeah, 0 blitzes. I think 16 pressures, though, with no blitzing. That was insane. And something, wow, we're getting right into it, I guess. But something that I was listening to on the radio, they were saying the commentators, I mean, listen, the defensive line was that good that it's tough to think about anything else. But they didn't mention how good the secondary was. Like, there's a reason, like, Mahomes can play against the blitz pretty well and get the ball out or just be elusive. We saw it a few times. But the secondary must have been covering their receivers incredibly well because a blitz in the past hasn't affected him that bad. I mean, he had 33 total throwing yards in the first half, I think.
The QBR of 1.
Yeah, man, that was insane. Yeah, I mean, I guess we might as well just keep on rolling through it. We got a little power episode, ladies and gentlemen, because it is snowing and we have to leave the office quickly. So we needed to get an episode out to everybody. It, obviously Super Bowl's a big deal and Bird Gang won. So we're here, we're doing it, but apologies if we power through some of these topics. Anyway, let's just jump right back into the Birds. No top 5 today.
No top 5? Okay.
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
I didn't bring my thinking cap, so
That
that's good
eats
with
like
me.
15 minutes worth, and we need to get the ball rolling. So
Okay.
I
can do a top 5 though. Anyway, thank you. Based on our conversation.
All right, if you want to sneak one in while we're
because I think that we should do. And I actually had this prepared in my noggin.
Oh wow!
Unlike what you're usually thinking that I'm doing, which is unprepared.
You are.
Hold on.
It's out of your head now.
No, it came back. So I think we should do not top 5, but I'm just gonna say top 5 for the sake of it, but do like whatever top, just to have a conversation of best Eagles teams in history, because this was floating around half the week so far because we won only a few days ago. But is this the best Eagles team that we've ever had?
I'll give you the short answer.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think this team, just this team, boom, in general, is up against the best teams in history. In NFL
True.
history. Yeah, they had the best. Well, I don't know if it was the best ever, but it was the best by like 12 turnover ratio. It was like 16 or 18-2, so plus 16.
Yeah.
Most points ever scored in a playoff run.
Yeah.
Most yards rushed in a season by a running back. Most rushed yards in a playoffs by any team ever. Dominated the NFC and AFC championship. Most points combined in just those 2 games. Shut down the Commanders and Chiefs, who had 2 of the top 5 high-flying, high-powered offenses. And I'm thinking maybe you have the Lions in there too, and like the Bills and Ravens maybe, and obviously the Eagles. But like we shut them down. I think you stack it up against Eagles teams. There's even the McNabb Owens.
They were even
early
saying
2000s,
like early
yeah.
2000s Sixers. So like when you're looking
like
at
all Philly
like all
sports, you mean?
Philly
Philly
sports.
sports?
Oh well,
The Eagles, the Phillies that won.
See, the Phillies are interesting. The Phillies are kind of like the Eagles before we won this Super Bowl, where
Like which year?
08? Well, 08 won the World Series, but the next year I would say the roster was better in 09 to 2011. That's when they had those 5 aces.
But does winning?
But they didn't win.
Well, the World Series that's a whole other cookie.
Well, winning the championship
is-
changes the. For me, you can't be the best team like the Patriots with that Randy Moss. I can't have them as their best team because they didn't win the Super Bowl.
100%.
And it's like, yes, they were undefeated until then, but they had 14-2 or 15-1 teams that did win the Super Bowl, and I'd rather that team. I think this team gets in the conversation of best teams of all time because
of all NFL teams.
Yeah, because of what they did on paper and then or who they are on paper. Like if you were in 10 years when I run through this roster, I'm going to go, whoa, those were great players. You look at the 2017 team, and it's like at the time, obviously they were great. They won the NFL. They won the Super Bowl. But almost Torrey Smith, Alshon Jeffrey,
every single position you would take the guys on this team now.
You're like, oh, I don't think those aren't like all Hall of Fame guys.
Right.
This roster's unbelievable.
It is.
And they performed as such.
Yeah.
They started 2-2 and then essentially went undefeated with Jalen Hurts on the field for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Well, not even essentially. It's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Well, so it leads me to another thought based on, so the team, like our defense obviously came in, showed out, did that. They're extremely young, which is also very exciting for a lot of people watching. You don't even have to like the Eagles, just be like a lover of the game. Are the Eagles, and this was a question not from my head, this was happening like, so the mainstream news media was like Chiefs, 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 you know, even like all over the world because of Taylor Swift. The big thing is, are the Eagles the new dynasty?
Well, I mean,
and I hate that, by the way, being an Eagles fan.
Just to get there that's kind of dynasty worthy.
You know, Abe, that's interesting. I actually was going to say, well, we are at best, we're starting one.
Yeah.
But if they won 2 years ago. But I mean, getting there, I guess, is in theory the start.
Right.
The start of the dynasty.
And you have the same coach, same quarterback. You know, the team that's most of your team, like within your quarterback and your head coach. Like,
yeah.
Following them too. I mean, and like the sky's the limit, as just alluded to. The team is very, very young. I think everybody's under contract except for maybe like 5 or 6 guys. So like a lot of these guys are coming back.
They seem happy too, those guys who are.
I think we maybe lose Josh Sweat, who honestly I didn't realize
had the game of his life.
Oh my God, yeah, he was incredible in the Super Bowl. But I did not realize I didn't know.
Thank you.
I didn't know he was even on the roster anymore. To be honest with you, yeah, I totally like when I think about the defense. Didn't know he wasn't on the team, but he's like the last guy I think of on the defense. Like I literally go through every other position, just about. Because you have Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Nakobe Dean, the exciting whites, Quinyon Mitchell, Maddox, CJ Vaughn.
Isaiah Rodgers actually balled as well in this game.
And then I guess who's the other edge rusher? Who am I blanking? Hunt.
Nolan Williams I guess he's a tackle, but
yeah. So literally, Joshua is the last guy named, and he could have been MVP. If it wasn't Jalen, it was him. I
agree. He had 2.5 sacks, forced fumble, and a recovery, I think.
Yeah.
So.
But as far as the dynasty is concerned, from my perspective, I don't think we are. I don't think it makes any sense to say we are a dynasty.
Well, it's the beginning of one, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. Anybody who, in theory, wins a Super Bowl is the beginning of a dynasty.
Yeah, but not necessarily.
I'm saying we went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Even though we didn't win, that team still made it all the way there. I know it was disappointing the season after, but they're still winning. They still made the playoffs. Like this is a good run in Philly sports right now.
Like who's stopping us next year?
Well, that's where I'm trying to get to there, but we just have
we're sideline banting.
Yeah.
What's your problem?
We're sideline banting too much. But I think we are in a great position to become a dynasty. But I don't think we are one until we win another 2 Super Bowls
with the same core players.
Or not.
Okay.
I'm anti it has to be the same core because the Eagles as an organization is what the dynasty is. Kind of like the Yankees. Mm-hmm. They're still, they've been kind of trash since 2010. Not trash, but they haven't won. So, I do think the Eagles now have a legitimate opportunity to become a dynasty because of all the not even re-signings, the contracts that are still ongoing. Mm-hmm. Like you said, it's I think 5 guys we have to re-sign. We might lose
a couple guys. I mean, we did lose Kellen Moore as well, which is going to be painful to replace.
And we'll trade for Myles Garrett.
That'd be so nice.
Apparently, that's like going to happen. We have incredible amount of cap space and picks to offer up.
I would love to see it. It's one thing I would love to see.
Anyway, let's talk about the game a little bit, I think. We obviously won. It was obviously dominating. We alluded to that. We're talking dynasty already, but Man, we really shut down 15. I've never seen that before.
Never. That was the worst game he's played in his lifetime. I love Tom Brady's commentary during the game. Like, he saw, like, his feet were never set. Like, he was always worried that the pressure was going to get to him. Like, he could not stand in the pocket. Like, he couldn't do anything with the way the Eagles defense was pressuring him.
Yeah, both picks were awesome. The Bond one, you're almost like they dominated him. Like, Patrick Mahomes looked bad.
Yes.
Like, both picks were, I mean, again, Bonds was nice and he dove and all that, but
the first
they weren't
distance,
great
yeah,
throws.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, man.
Well,
I'm not necessarily anti-Patrick Mahomes,
No,
but the dominance was beautifully executed.
It was well done. Shout out to Vic Fangio.
Yes,
so we had one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Basically the same roster comes back the next year, and he just turned things all the way around. I don't know what the rankings were, but we were up there in the top 5 in like every single category.
Yeah. We might have been the best defense in the league this year.
Yeah.
I wish I had more stats.
They played like in the Super Bowl.
I know I can't. I'm they're all over the place. But like the one thing I hate is I know the game's crazy. The fact that in the Super Bowl we pulled our starters in the fourth quarter. That is.
Dude,
Kenny Pickett got game time.
Yeah, your backup's getting
and I'm looking at
dirt on his jersey in the Super Bowl. It's
like
crazy.
the biggest deficits, and it should have been number one. The fact that we did that, and then they had to put points on the board to make them feel better. I mean, no one is in that fourth quarter. It was 6-40. Like,
brother, it was 34-0 at one point.
Yeah.
And they're airing it out to Devontae Smith for that touchdown.
Dude, I want to, before we move off of the bench coming in, I was so struck by like that. It was 40-22. And it even more made me go, what a great effing game that our starters just played. Because
we embarrassed them.
We put Kenny Pickett out there, 3 and out. Then they get on the field and I don't know if it was a full second string of defenders, but like mostly second stringers. Touchdown.
Yeah, Xavier Worthy went deep.
Kenny Pickett comes back, 3 and out, flip, touchdown. Yeah. 22, and game ends 22-40. Now it didn't matter. There was no way they were going to score 34 points, but I don't know if anyone else was affected that way, but I was like, damn, like Hurts and Saquon and the O-line and the receivers cooked their defense.
Yeah.
That made Kenny Pickett look like a college quarterback again. And then Mahomes, the second there was a second stringer out there, 60-yard dart to Worthy. Yeah. Worthy, by the way, ended up with 157 and 2 touchdowns. That's he like broke all the rookie records. 157 and 2 touchdowns.
That's what I mean. Like, it's such like, and I know
who put your money on Xavier Worthy. Let us know in the comments.
It's just like people in history are gonna they're gonna have to like will know, but like people in history will be like, oh, like whatever. Like, but no, it was bad.
Oh, I think this one will be
stomped
remembered.
On them.
Like, it was everywhere.
It was, I think, one of the most viewed Super Bowls ever. I have to
Number one.
Yeah, I love that they watched us absolutely demolish the Chiefs. That's so funny.
You want to know something though? The picture of Messi arriving to the Super Bowl had an unbelievable amount of times more. It was like 3 to 6 times more likes and views than Eagles won the Super Bowl and like they're lifting the trophy. I was like, wow, this guy's bigger than the sport.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's Mr. Worldwide.
And it's not even NFL fans liking that. It's definitely everyone from around the world just like, oh, there's Messi on whatever page. Yeah. I'll like that. Yeah. I'm telling you, it was like 5 times more likes.
Didn't even know he was at the Super Bowl.
Then Saquon.
It's like, that's a cool Messi picture.
It's just a Messi picture in sweats. So yeah, that was awesome. That was exciting. The parade is this Friday.
Yeah.
I will not be there. I'll be traveling for work, I think, at least, unless it gets canceled tomorrow. That'd be sick. I would love to do the business review.
Do you really think it will get canceled?
Connor, Andrew, and I are praying.
Okay.
We're not trying to fly down there at all.
During a snowstorm?
Connor asked Andrew in December, can you please not make it the annual business review for this week?
He felt it.
If the Eagles win, the parade will be that, like the end of that week. And Andrew was like, dude, I already moved it once. The chances that the Eagles win the Super Bowl and the parade is on the 2 days that we're down there. Sure enough, here we are. So I'm flying back Friday night. I hope I don't hit any weird traffic coming from the Philly airport.
I do want to add in too, just to circle back, like Taylor Swift got booed, and
That was hilarious.
yeah, I think that what
She didn't notice it
she
was
didn't
her.
understand what was going on.
You know who didn't get booed though? Anne Hathaway.
Well, that's because she's on the right side
I
of
was in
history.
a big Anne Hathaway household because I was
Yeah.
watching with Jessica's family and then Alex Annan, who's like you, he loves Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, she was looking good as usual, but Taylor got booed.
Wearing
She's
green,
from
too.
here.
Yeah, I saw. I think she's from Jersey.
I thought she was from like actually close to us, Street Road, but.
Anne Hathaway?
Yeah,
She's
I'll
from
Google
Street
it.
Road?
No. I
she's
just
from Jersey.
remember her like aunt
Well, I mean, I know you
worked
said
at the
that.
Kmart there or something crazy, and she would literally be like, "My like whatever is Anne Hathaway," and we'd be like,
Princess
"What
of
the hell?"
Geneva.
No, but like
Genovi.
Taylor didn't even
my
know
bad.
why, and it's like, how can you be so out of touch, Taylor, to not know why? The Eagles took over, the fans took over the stadium. I have
Bro,
so much to
that's
say
another
about
thing
this, but
as well, the fans in the Super Bowl is insane. Like that.
It was like a home team.
It's an
Hometown
influence.
game.
It's an
It
influencer bowl,
started-
and the fans for Philly were so loud.
It
Oh my God,
started
it's
with
awesome.
Bradley Cooper. I'm not gonna lie.
Bradley Cooper.
He started because what's his face did it for the Chiefs. It was
Yeah.
boring.
I didn't
Boo.
know the guy.
And then Bradley Cooper brings that kid with him who
John Hamm.
actually had a terrible illness, and he said, "I want him with me," and that was like good
Oh,
vibes.
was John Hamm? I knew that.
Yeah. And then Bradley knew that if he said it slow, E-A-G, unison, whole stadium. I
That
mean,
was
he.
electric.
I
What
kinda
a
wanna play
great
it.
Super Bowl experience, dude. The whole thing from beginning to end was awesome. I mean, obviously Kansas City isn't going to love it, but I mean, you got to respect what an ass whooping the Eagles just put on your team.
Held the
Like,
ass, 100%.
there was you can't go ref
And for
this.
they were
or
going for the
this, call
three-peat.
that.
We didn't
Yeah.
even say anything about the three-peat. They were going for the three-peat. They got
Yeah.
belt to ass all throughout 4 quarters. Like it was
Yeah, you mentioned the
Chef's
Pat
kiss.
Riley
the patent or the
patent, and apparently the
patent?
Chiefs were making murmurs about taking the patent
Yeah.
or buying the patent from
locker room
him.
material.
Yeah, and
No.
like, no reason to do it now.
Can I play this? You can remove it if you hate it, but it's necessary.
Okay.
Thank you.
the city of Rome,
Oh, this is Bradley.
your 2024 NFC champions, the
I mean, that's all.
Yeah, I mean Bradley Cooper's been a beast for a long time, and that was awesome.
Germantown native.
Beast. I saw an interview, Bradley Cooper. It was like last year he directed a movie or something, and he was like started it as well or something like that. And they're doing interviews for that movie, and they're like, would you rather have the Oscars for what you've done in your acting career or the Eagles win another Super Bowl? He's like, I'm probably a sick person, but I'm going with the Eagles.
Yeah.
I'd rather have them win a Super Bowl than me win an Oscar.
The camera one's sensitive, just so you know. It'll like hop right out. He tugs it. Yeah, he's a Germantown guy, fluent in French, by the way. Fun fact about Bradley Cooper. Did we say enough? I know we got to keep it moving. Did we say enough about the Super Bowl? I don't want to skim by it, but Jalen Hurts, MVP. Great game. Proved all the haters wrong. Threw for, I think he's the first quarterback to have 75 completion while throwing over 200 yards with 70 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. I know that's like a lot of things to be the first guy, but essentially it's like the most well-rounded quarterback game because he had a
Gotcha. He did
119
everything.
passer rating too.
Yeah.
Or QBR.
Yeah.
So phenomenal out of him. They really were focused on shutting down
Saquon,
Saquon.
yeah.
He still ended up with 97 yards, by the way.
Almost broke 100.
Yeah.
too, right? Like they're saying the Eagles are a running football team. Jalen's been like the whole time. He's never been a bad quarterback. We never didn't have wide receivers who were good. That's how I looked at it. Like they ill prepared. I don't know how to say that. But.
Well, I think the idea was stop Saquon, who's
Which-
the best player, which is
They
true.
did pretty much. They
As much-
slowed him
They were on
down.
mute
Yeah,
that
they
whole
slowed him
time.
down.
I mean, he had 50 some odd receiving yards, I think.
Okay.
So I mean, he had a decent game. I could be making that up, but definitely 97 rushing. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what we're talking about, though. You can
There's so
stop
much,
Saquon and stop Goddard.
They're saying,
But
make Jalen prove he's a good passer.
yeah,
What did
he
he
is.
do?
He's a great
Yeah.
deep ball passer. Now I understand he could be better about making decisions faster, but he was. Oh, it's like okay,
Yeah.
now I'm did that. What's next? So
I think it's shout out too to our boy who's gonna move to the Saints, on the play
Kellen
calling.
Moore.
Killing more, yeah.
Yeah, he changed it like after that first 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, after that
he said,
bye
all right,
week, yeah.
fine. We'll run the ball first.
We actually bought Saquon a really good running back, so
Yeah,
we can
thank
actually
you.
run the ball.
Yeah.
Thank you to the Giants.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you to
Guys,
the
let's
Giants
sit.
first and foremost, and Nick Sirianni. I feel like he deserves some
Well,
flowers.
he's kind of in the same boat as Hurts, so I'm sure we'll hear a lot of him backing up Hurts in these weeks to come, saying, "I told you he was great, this, that, and the other," and probably speaking vicariously through
Well,
him. And
it's
really
funny you
about
say that because
himself.
Hertz actually did that to Nick. He kind of did what you're saying in his speech back. Like they always go to the team, which is like a really great locker room thing. But he did say and the head coach. To your point.
Well, Jalen's going to do it in the reverse way to defend himself. He's going to say it about Sirianni because it's the same critique. It's like the people who are against them are saying they don't do it, whatever their job is, they don't do it the right way, or they're not good at how they do it. And really everyone else who supports them, the argument is, okay, well, they win. And ultimately, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So Sirianni just had a 15-2 or 14-3 season, whatever it was, and then won the Super Bowl. And there are still going to be people who say, oh, I'd rather have Gable over him or Vrabel. I was thinking Gable's the dude from the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I would not take
he
him
won
over.
Coach of the Year last year or was in the running last year. And even earlier, not to pick on Mike, but when we were talking about Coach of the Year, I brought up Sirianni and he was like, no. And I was like, why not? And he's like, because he's not as good as the other guys. I was like, oh, okay.
X's O's don't matter.
I
Winning
think
games
dude from the
doesn't matter.
Vikings should have won.
Yeah. O'Connell, whatever his name is.
Yeah, McConnell. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Kevin O'Connell.
But like I just kind of the same Jalen Hurts situation. I mean, hey, how long are we going to say Sirianni's a bad coach when he's been to 2 Super Bowls and won one? He's the highest
winning percentage.
Yeah, he is. There's only 3 coaches in the NFL history of a 700 win percentage and a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's never not made the playoffs.
And it's him, Lombardi, and Madden, I think.
Yeah.
Not even Belichick.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Same thing as Hurts. Like, great, very, very happy for him. Because, like, I don't know. We've all played sports where it's like there's a guy on the team who's just a gamer. And, like, okay, he's not the biggest, fastest, strongest dude. But like, Billy Bell was a great soccer player. I mean, not as we got older, but when we were playing with him when we were 13, it's like nobody's going to look at Billy and go, oh, that guy's a stud.
Yeah.
But you want him on your team. Or Justin Schnepp, same thing. Like, he was an asset to the team that you wouldn't have to be like, oh, he's a like he's a good soccer player. He might not look it at practice, but he's a hell of a gamer. So just frustrated me. Obviously, everyone knows I'm a huge Jalen fan. And then I I like Sirianni, but just
I do like Sirianni too. Now that he won, I like him even more.
Yeah. Anything to add to the Super Bowl, Ave?
Go Birds, 40-22. Sirianni's got his first one. It's the Eagles' second in 7 years. So
go Birds.
Go Birds. You know, I waited 21 years of my life to see them get their first one, and now I get the second one 7 years later. So I can't complain as an Eagles fan.
I get used to being more like Boston. Apparently, if when we were 10, I don't know. No, I think if you were born in 2001, Boston won a championship every year that you were alive.
Like a Boston team has one.
Yeah, because it went like Patriots, Red Sox, Bruins, Patriots, Celtics. Yeah, all the way to like 2012. So like your first 11 years. I think they had like 14 championships.
Total. That's insane.
And then people like Patriots fans are all upset now that they suck. It's like, all right, relax.
You had a good run, bro.
18 years of the best team every year.
Right. You won 7 Super Bowls.
I feel like Philly's right behind there with the Phillies.
No.
Well, at one point it was the Sixers, the Phillies, and the Eagles all in the playoffs.
I mean, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
We're
but
good.
They won a championship every year.
Yeah, well, it's first of all, it's not easy to get to like the big game, and the Phillies did it how many times in the last few years?
Right now?
Yeah.
2.
You know how hard it is to get to the World Series?
I'm not including the.
I don't think Luke
wait.
does.
Oh,
He's
okay.
not really our baseball guy, so I don't. Yeah,
It's all, just about as hard in every sport.
exactly. And we got there twice, so I feel like there's some sort of.
Yeah, but we didn't win. Are you hearing what we're
No, I
saying?
hear what you're
For
saying. I
12
said
years in a
second.
row. Well,
said, like,
you
come-
have LA. You could have
Who else with LA
the Lakers won
and the Dodgers?
Mickey
and the
Mouse.
Dodgers. This is not a Mickey Mouse championship. The Kings won 2.
Oh, the hockey team. I was like,
Yeah, I had
Sacramento
forgotten
Kings. What are you
about
talking
them.
about?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
They also have like 10 sports
Who
teams
else
out
is
Yeah,
there.
like-
Does that
football.
count? They have two basketball teams in the same city, in the same arena.
Yeah, they're an
until last
outlier.
year,
They're
2
not
years
part
ago.
of our list.
All right. Whatever. It's a cool stat from Boston.
Boston, yeah, Boston. They are title town. I'll give it to them. They're 100% title town.
Jessica, any last words for the Super Bowl?
No, I just think it's very crazy that we won the way we did. That was absolutely wild. I thought we were going to win. I don't think anybody, even us saying for fun, like I could see it being a blowout. I don't think anyone saw us going into half with the Chiefs absolutely shut down. Patrick Mahomes doing a sad face. Kelsey not even catching a ball. I mean, very happy. Very, very happy. I actually think I might rewatch the game every night this year to go to bed.
Lisa Carlin, Jimmy's wife, we played soccer with her. She has watched it 3 times already.
Jesus.
Yeah. Jimmy is a crazy Eagles fan.
Yeah.
Like Francois went to his house for the Super Bowl and was like, I go because his family's so funny. Like they're a bunch of Irish people who go nuts.
That's awesome.
So
3 times, dude. I still haven't watched the Super Bowl the first time we won. I haven't ran it back once.
I ran it back once.
Oh, me
I've
neither.
not run it back once. I got to run it back with like the
But
NFL.
you've seen the Philly special a bunch.
Yeah, I've seen it, the Philly special a billion times, but I want to do it with the tracks they have on the game. Like they'll put like Merrill Reese's commentary.
Yeah.
I want to do like that full experience. Like, dude, I want to rent out a theater and do that. It would be awesome.
That would be sick. I wonder
Wow.
if the Merrill Reese recording has been laid on top of any video yet. That I could watch that instead.
From this game?
Yeah,
Or-
from this one.
I heard
I've
him
seen one clip of Merrill Reese
with
like,
the
on
Cooper.
tracks.
I mean the whole thing though.
Yeah, I got
Because
you.
I mean I'm sure you could find Merrill Reese clips.
Yeah, Merrill Reese also. Shout out to Merrill Reese.
Oh yeah.
the
he's
guy,
king.
the voice of
Jesse's
the Eagles.
met him.
Yeah.
She used to record,
Yeah, I used to do sports talk radio in the morning in his radio station.
What a beast.
and his show was after hers or before.
He owned the whole thing.
Oh.
It was like a small radio show that he would
Very
come in his little BMW and he was so nice. And I was like,
Hi.
hey.
Good morning. It's
Yeah,
Merrill Reese.
And he's like 4
He's got a
foot, whatever.
great voice, bro. That's awesome.
I
He has a great story because he's sort of like that nerdy guy who just absolutely loves stats, loves sports, and he
reminds me
did
of
really
Matt
great at
Kling.
Temple. Yeah.
Remember Matt Kling? Mike remembers Matt Kling.
My Merrill Reese's partner, Mike Quick, my uncle played with him when he was with the Eagles.
Oh, there's another uncle stat.
All right, well, that's it for the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously, this podcast is really excited. I feel like that was an entertaining, and a lot of people wanted the Chiefs to lose. Even if you didn't, it was just a spectacularly played game by the Eagles. So hopefully that was as enjoyable to, neutral fans as it was to Eagles fans, because it was fun to watch, I thought. Obviously rooting for that.
Yeah, I loved it.
There
There's
was pick sixes, there were deep balls, there were nice catches. There were sacks. I don't know.
It just felt
Everything
like a
happened.
party from like the jump,
Yeah.
Like there was that bad call that we got against us our first drive, and then we got a makeup call the next drive, and then it was just a route from there, which was
fine.
yeah. There was just like no stress watching that game. It was just a good time, and the Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
It's
All right,
crazy.
let's move on. Let's talk season awards. I'm going to save the best for last, so I'm going to actually skip to the second piece here. I'm going to run through them relatively quickly, and then we just talk about a couple that we're interested in talking about. Offensive Player of the Year was Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
Defensive Player of the Year was Patrick Surtain Jr. Second. Coach of the Year was Kevin O'Connell, as we mentioned before. Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels.
Yes.
Defensive Player of the Year, Jared Verse. Comeback play,
Rookie.
Oh, sorry. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jared Verse. Comeback Player of the Year, Joe Burrow.
Yep.
And Assistant Coach of the Year, Ben Johnson.
Yep.
let's talk those quickly.
Okay.
A couple of them, and then we'll go to the MVP.
Okay.
I'll lead off if you want, the ones I'm interested in, or...
Sure.
All right. First of all, Saquon Barkley, Offensive Player of the Year.
Absolutely.
I thought that was great. I think that Jamar Chase probably deserved a couple of votes, maybe Derrick Henry, but Saquon should have won by far, and he did. The only thing was Jessica actually announced that to me, and I was bummed. And she was like, What do you want? And then for me, that just meant he's not going to win MVP.
Yeah.
And then I said, why? And then Luke looked at me. He's like, well, I guess in theory he could win again, but he's not.
No.
Yeah.
You don't have those seasons. I mean,
I think the NFL...
And if you do it again, like...
I was kind of happy to see... I don't know if you got here, but...
No, don't say it.
Yeah.
I think they try to do it so that MVP can be the most valuable player. So that you give Offensive Player of the Year to the best player on offense. Like, you go stats. And then that allows the NFL to actually appropriately do a value-based thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like what they did this year, to be honest with you. But we'll get there in a sec. That being said, I think most of the years that we've been alive, it's really just MVP runner-up.
Yeah.
But I think the awards are set up that way for the reason that I said. I don't know if it's executed that way, but that way you can say, Saquon, you were the most talented, greatest offensive player, but your team was great, and you weren't the most valuable to your team, even though I could argue he was. This other person was the most valuable.
I'll just say that the MVP award is who's the best quarterback in the NFL award nowadays. That's all they do.
Oh, yeah, but but statistically that wasn't the case this year. We'll get there. We'll get there. Defensive Player of the Year, good.
I'm okay with Pastor Team.
Yeah. Coach of the Year, fine.
I'm okay with that.
Could have been the Lions guy.
Because of the injuries. I don't know. I think he won it last year, so I don't know if he can go back. I mean, he can go back to back.
22 injuries, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Their defense was so decimated, and to have them at 15-2 or something like that was crazy.
But I mean, Kevin O'Connell,
who's also had his quarterback. But he had a backup quarterback. So
Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think that's fine. It could have been Bowers, but
I know he broke the record, but Jaden Daniels was incredible.
Yeah. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I actually do have an issue with. That felt a lot of I didn't really hear much about him until the end of the year, and particularly he crushed the Eagles.
That's what I was going to say. How many Rams games did you watch all year?
I mean, not a ton.
That's what I'm saying.
So
we saw Coop and Quinion the whole year. We saw them putting up plays. But Jared Verse was a wrecking ball when he played against us. So just
as
by
far
that,
as we know,
by that film,
I mean, Saquon put up 200 against him twice.
Yeah,
it's not just him, but he is a guy who's supposed to be able to stop.
But I also like that he talked smack before the game, and then he went out there and backed. I know his team lost, but he was him that game.
The only thing I'll say is that I don't think Coop should have won it over him. I do obviously love Coop, but Quinion Mitchell, in my opinion, should have been Defensive Rookie of the Year. He shut down big names all year. It's it was nuts.
Yeah,
I think he had an overall rating of 30, a 30% QBR thrown against him.
Really?
So I don't know. I mean, Verse might have been excellent, but for me, it was Mitchell, not Coop. I don't want to get hometown hoops, but look, I think he had an all-time rookie cornerback season.
Gotcha. And cornerback's one of the harder positions in football.
Oh, yeah.
I would say it's more difficult than a DN, but still, I don't know. Jared Verse, I feel like they didn't want to go all Eagles here as well.
Yeah, true.
They don't want to balance out their awards, make sure that people are, they're getting rewarded for their play instead of just being on the best team gets you an award.
Right. Comeback Player of the Year, Joe Burrow.
I'm cool with it.
Did he get? I forget what happened.
The thumb, wasn't it the thumb? Remember he couldn't throw? Wasn't that last year? And he was out for a little.
I know hasn't he won it before?
I think he did get hurt because he received the award and he kind of jokingly was like, "This is the one award I don't want to have won because it means I got hurt or whatever." So I think so.
Oh yeah, I know he's gotten his knees beat up badly before, but I don't think this was one of those situations. So
who would you give it to? Would you give it to DeMar Hamlin? Was that 2 years ago? So he got it last year, but he actually had a really good season this year. I don't know.
I think Sam Darnold was in the running. Because I don't know if he got hurt or just was benched or whatever happened. But then he obviously had an almost MVP season as a back. I mean, kind of comeback, right? Career was I don't know if he got hurt, but his career felt like it was over. But whatever, I'm fine with Joe Burrow.
I'm
there,
cool
I
with it
think.
too, yeah.
And then assistant coach of the year, obviously we have both the Eagles guys, Vic Fangio and
Yeah.
Kellen Moore, but Ben Johnson, he also
The
got
man.
hired as a head coach in Chicago after his incredible year. Very dynamic offense, probably slightly less talented than the Eagles, so I think you give him the edge over Kellen Moore. They had a lot of firepower all year, and like the running backs are as good. Like you take Gibbs and Montgomery,
They equal a Saquon.
yeah, it's equal Saquon and Gainwell.
Right.
Amon-Ra is as good as anyone we have, but
Jameson
we got the
Williams.
I don't know. I mean, kind of a similar build. Goff is manager, kind of like Wentz, kind of like Hurts, but Ben Johnson's like that offense is
He's the
fun to
man.
watch. Like
He's the man.
I'm not upset that he won, but I like the Vic Fangio argument because of what we were last year, the lack of talent that we brought in. I think we signed 1 or 2 guys and drafted 2 rookies, one of which was white. So
a white cornerback. Who would have thought?
It's not like we were out here signing Deion Sanders for 20
Yeah.
mil a year, and we ended up as a top 5 defense.
Yeah.
So the Lions offense was already good. The past 2 years, they had already started to score more, and you hungry, bud? Here you go. That was funny. I hope that was on camera. I don't think it was. But yeah, so I'm good with Ben Johnson.
I'm cool with that too.
All right.
I like Ben Johnson.
So I kind of hogged that, but what did you? Any of those I said I was cool with that you weren't, or any of those that you wanted to elaborate more on that I had a problem with?
I think we had a good convo there. I'm okay with what I said.
All right,
after you.
Fair enough. Let the people know who won MVP then, Ave.
Joshua Allen from the Buffalo Bills was the MVP this year, which I disagree with.
Me too.
Which I love Josh Allen getting this MVP. He might have been more deserving of it in the previous year, but I thought Lamar had a way better year than not a way better, but a better year statistically than he did last year, and he won MVP. So how could you not give it to him this year? I'm not saying that Josh isn't as deserving, but I think
if Josh also outperformed Lamar's numbers last year, then that's irrelevant.
No, what do you mean?
Like Lamar won it last year.
Yeah, but
So
Josh Allen probably had better numbers last year than Lamar. And it's like the opposite happened this year. And then
well, yeah. So okay, sorry, keep going.
So the NFL's got like their eye on what they want to see, I guess. But
I think they're picking the most valuable player.
I mean, the stats do not lie in some points.
So my good friend Dylan Livingston, he's a huge Bills fan, and I said, "Yo, Dill, Lamar cooked his ass on the stat sheet,
and he beat him in the game they played together, the head-to-head."
Lamar did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and every single stat, he has more passing yards and rushing yards. The
Just
only thing he
doesn't
doesn't
have
have is
rushing
rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
but those are a lot of 1-yarders from a big body. It's not like Lamar had 4 or 5. Josh had 12 because half of them are QB sneaks, which is fine. I'm pro. That's in his arsenal. It is what it is. But so I said, tell me why Josh Allen deserved MVP. And he said Lamar played 2.5 more games worth of snaps than Allen did. And he also played a much worse schedule and had a 1,900-yard rusher on his team.
How did he play a worse schedule? Josh Allen's in the AFC East. Lamar's in the AFC.
Because he played the Dolphins and the Jets. And the Patriots.
Patriots stink. The
Dolphins
are
where they were 8.
That's what I'm saying.
They were okay this year.
The Bills, their confidence is weaker than the Steelers.
That's from a Bills fan.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. The only thing I can say is if he did play 2.5 more snaps or 2.5 more games worth of snaps, meaning I guess he played
so the numbers are
120 more snaps.
Yeah.
Then the numbers would be inflated.
Mm-hmm.
So then they go back to even. I think Lamar has the better team. I mean, I'm not anti Josh Allen winning the MVP. I think again, my thought about the offensive player of the year is that you give that to who, in theory, again, I don't think this is how it actually has happened the past 20 years, but you give that to the guy who dominated the stat sheet on offense, and you say that was the most exceptional player of this year on offense. And then that gives you the flexibility. Now, this year we had a 3-man race. It was tough. But it gives you the flexibility to now say who's the most valuable player for their team, which we don't see ever in American sports. It's always who was the best player. Doesn't really matter if you
Who's
made
the
the
best player in the
playoffs.
most important
In a lot
position.
of like Mike Trout has been the MVP, and the Angels suck ass badly. I'm trying to think in the NBA. I guess it doesn't happen that often. It's generally the first
usually,
place guy.
one of the better teams.
So Burrow's left off this list because his team didn't make the playoffs. But if you are doing value strictly, which I don't like to do because that's not realistic, it doesn't actually happen, you could definitely argue Josh Allen has.
I'm not saying you couldn't argue it, but I'm just saying, in my point of view, my perspective, Lamar is the guy.
And I think it was close. I think Lamar had 23 votes.
I don't know. Did you guys read off any stats yet on him?
No, just that Lamar cooked.
So
Allen.
Allen totaled 41 touchdowns, 28 passing, 12 rushing, 1 receiving. He became the only player in NFL history with 25 plus passing touchdowns, 10 plus rushing touchdowns, and a receiving score.
Well, that's because of the receiving score. Because I bet Jalen Hurts. Well, no, he didn't. He had 18, but 25 and 10, I'm sure, has been done in the past. But the fact that
are you sure? Or are you positive?
Well, the fact, I mean, listen, that's a great year. I'm just saying the fact that he caught the 1 touchdown is definitely what makes this season the first time.
They finished the season 13-4 and clinched the AFC East.
No, I'm just looking up Cam
in week 13, the first time a team has clinched the division with 5 weeks remaining since the 2009 Colts.
The Bills did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because their conference was ass.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just saying they had the Patriots and the Jets. I'm not saying you're wrong.
You're arguing with stats, which is fine.
Guy.
I mean,
yeah, because numbers lie.
Mm.
So
but he did almost, like, it was a narrow
I think
win.
It was 28-23. It was very close.
Yeah. 27. He got 27 first place votes compared to
what sucks is
27-23.
Yeah. What sucks is Lamar had the 4th highest QBR ever.
Yeah.
And the first 3 all won MVP. It went Rodgers, Manning, Lamar, Brady. MVP, second MVP. Breeze was on the list twice. He didn't win MVP either of those. And then I forget who the other 3 were. But it was a top 10. Lamar's 4th best QBR ever. Oh, Mahomes was on it. I think Burrow.
Yeah,
yes, Jessica.
I thought he was deserving, but he didn't get it. It's okay, though.
It is okay.
I have a question.
What's up?
So for quarterbacks, has it shifted a bit? Like, meaning in basketball, I believe it shifted where, like, LeBron kind of changed the game with being a big guy who can shoot, things to that nature. Has the quarterback position also shifted a bit for, like, just like adapting to the times?
I would say it did, and then it's coming back almost. Like the speedster stuff got a little exciting when Vic started being great, and then you had people like Murray and Lamar, and even Cam Newton and Terrell Pryor, and like everybody who you would just play quarterback if you could run. You had Jared McClendon trying to play quarterback in middle school. But I think it was like I don't know. In my perspective, a 5 to 10 year project, and people then were like, okay, be elusive, but you need to be able to throw the ball. That's why they told Lamar, you're not going to be a quarterback. People didn't want to give him a chance because it failed so many times the past like 5-10 years. And he was like, I'm a quarterback, and I'm not going to run the 40-yard dash for you.
Yeah. I would say that there have been a lot of athletic quarterbacks, but I wouldn't say that it's translated that much into winning. Like, there hasn't been a strictly athletic quarterback that can't pass win a championship.
Right.
What would you consider Patrick Mahomes?
He's dual threat. I mean, he's super, super elusive, but it's not like he has really fast sprint speed. But he's
a decent athlete. He's just the best
he's
athlete.
hard to sack. I mean, we made him look bad, but like he got out away from a ton. Like there could have been 8-9 sacks that game. He's no Lamar or Kyler Murray in sprint speed, but I would argue he gets out of the way more than Jalen Hurts does.
I don't know about that.
But
he's got great pocket presence, but he knows like where the people are coming from and how to avoid them. But
he's elusive.
Yeah, I don't know if I didn't give him more than Hurts, just because Hurts can break tackles more than
I think he's way more elusive than Hurts, and like the pocket awareness is part of elusiveness. That's what I'm trying to say. He's not more athletic. He's not faster. He's not quicker. But he's way more elusive. in my opinion. And I think if we looked at sacks, we would see that. I mean, Jalen Hurts is the best O-line in the league for the past 3 years, and he's still sack happy.
Yeah.
That's like my first anti-Jalen Hurts. I mean, I'm comparing him to Mahomes.
Yeah, which you can't really do. He's a different beast.
And by the way, quarterbacks to do 25 and 10, Cam Newton, Kyler Murray, Josh Allen.
Cam Newton had 35 a year. 35.
Oh, he did have 35.
Yeah, that was an MVP season. You said Kyler and
Josh.
Yeah.
What is it? I think we just talk Hall of Fame now. We got through all the awards.
Yeah,
we kind of sit in the same way. I think I would end up voting for Lamar if I was a voter, but
I'm not mad.
Josh Allen won, and that's fine. Okay, Hall of Fame inductees to wrap up the NFL right quick. We had Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates.
Are they brothers?
Sterling Sharp. I don't think they are.
No.
One
is a brother.
One picture, yeah, and one is not. I only had one problem here. I think I didn't get a great look at the full list of inductees, but I think Tony Gates and Sterling Sharp need to go in. Eric Allen was great. So is Jared Allen. One of them need to come off the list, and Eli Manning needs to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot Hall of Famer for Eli. Yeah. I think he'll get in. I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I know he's got the 2 rings, but his career winning percentage is barely above 500. He doesn't really have any stats that are up there with the great quarterbacks that have played this game.
Yeah.
And like I said, I do think he will get in eventually, but I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, what does Eric Allen and Jared Allen have all-time numbers?
I'm not familiar with their games,
right?
To be honest with you, they're before my time.
Like, I don't think I tried to be fair and say like Sterling Sharp, 3-time All-Pro, and Antonio Gates, maybe the best tight end ever.
His numbers back that.
That's fine,
Paul.
You know, if
Jesus Christ,
Ooh-wee. If it's a 2-man race and those are the 2 and it's not Eli, fine. But I feel like I watched enough Jared Allen to say a 2-time Super Bowl MVP should be in before him. Eli's 2-time
Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Am I right, Alex?
I'm not sure about that one. I feel like there's a defensive MVP in those.
Eli Manning.
Only one.
Who won the second one? That's what I'm trying
maybe
to
like a straight hand. It's probably like a defense.
Oh, was it
or Tyree?
Tyree, I think it was Tyree.
No, I think it was Manningham was in the second one, not Tyree in the first. Mario Manningham, what was his name? Or Eli's 2-time.
He's a 2-time. I think he won both times. He went. What are you talking about? The Super Bowl
Super Bowl
or
MVP?
I think he won twice.
Well, he won twice. Did he win the MVP twice?
That's what I just asked.
Well, does it say 2-time MVP?
In the Super Bowl or in general?
Super
He's never
Bowl.
won an MVP.
Eli Manning,
Awards.
with the New York Giants, 2 Super Bowl championships, earning the game's most valuable player award each time.
Super Bowl.
So yes, I
MVP,
can't say yes enough.
2008 and 12. So,
I mean,
2-time
Super Bowl MVP is crazy. He shows up in the big game, but like I said, career wise, I don't think his numbers are first ballot Hall of Fame. Even though in the biggest game on the biggest stage, he shows up and even the playoff runs to get there. But to me, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. But he is a Hall of Famer. He will get into
11th all time in passing yards.
Not top 10.
Some of these names in front of him, though, like I don't think does Phillip Rivers go in before Eli?
Well, that's the thing. Phillip Rivers doesn't have any Super Bowls.
Right. And he doesn't have 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Does Matt Ryan or Matt Stafford? I think I would put Eli in front of definitely Matt Ryan, maybe Stafford. Although Ryan has a season MVP in 2016.
What is it? Really?
Yeah. The year he lost 28 to
3.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw some stat with that game. They were up 28-3 with like 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah. That's what I was saying that at the Super Bowl. I was showing them that same screenshot, and I was like, it wasn't halftime.
Yeah.
I think it was like 3.5 minutes, but whatever.
Yeah.
There was little time left in the third. Yeah. It was crazy. So anyway, that was my only thing. All of these players are great. I think I would have thrown Eli in there over Eric or Jared Allen, but I mean, you can disagree. That's fine.
I would disagree. And those guys, I don't think they're first ballot Hall of Famers, so they've probably been up for a couple of years. And
all right, I guess that makes a difference. Like your point is, he'd have to be so great that he's he will get in.
Yeah, I
so
think
it's
he'll get
okay
in.
if he doesn't get in this year.
Yeah.
If you're a first ballot, you're taking the opportunity from someone else who's been waiting.
Yeah.
So it's really got to be worth it.
Yeah. I want to shout out to Sterling Sharp here though, because Eli.
Was it his brother making it happen though?
No, his stats were
Yeah, he
ridiculous.
deserves
He had
it.
and he got hurt. Like he had 7 years of craziness. But
yeah, go ahead.
first
Sorry.
brothers to ever be enshrined into the Hall of Fame. Eli and Peyton were going for it this year, but obviously Eli didn't make it. But it's a cool stat for the Sharp brothers to have.
Yeah, and I know Sterling Sharp deserves it. I'm just saying that because I feel like the world started learning about him last year, maybe, as far as like because when Shannon Sharp got inducted to the Hall of Fame, he had the speech about like I'm the second best player in my family, this and the other, and that clip has resurfaced a ton recently. And then now he's in the Hall. Like, what changed? He's been retired for a long time.
I mean, I feel like Shannon Sharp was saying like he should be in here before me, but like the numbers were there. It was just like
no one noticed.
His career got cut short by injuries. So like he didn't have the full.
I think
long-term longevity.
Keekly was up.
Keekly's the man.
And they didn't give it to him.
So that's what I'm saying. Like they are very, very strict. I don't know.
Or maybe it's next year. I don't know. Maybe it's next year.
But that would be a first ballot Hall of Famer for me. But didn't he retire a little early as well?
He only played 8 years.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, but he has like higher than average linebacker who have been first ballot Hall of Famers.
Gotcha. Yeah. So
stats in only 8 years worth, and that first ballot Hall of Famer averaged 12 years.
Yeah.
So he did the same thing in 4 less years.
I know. I don't understand the strictness of some of these people that vote for these things, which it's very unfortunate because he deserves it with those type of numbers.
Yeah. He'll be in too. I might be wrong. It might be next year.
I say like first ballot Hall of Famer is like an awesome thing to have, but like I do think that these guys, their numbers, like what they've done to the game, and like even after like their contributions to the game, they will make them to the Hall of Fame. It's just like I don't know, just holding them out for some reason, which I don't really get.
Yeah, I don't know how much that holds weight in their world. Like if they were second ballot or first ballot, or like at the end of the day, we're in the Hall of Fame. Who cares? Yeah, well, that's all I had for the Hall of Fame. I think that's all we have for the NFL.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the NBA, where the first story is around Jimmy Buckets, who we've talked about the past month, 2 months or so. He's been holding out in Miami, got suspended indefinitely, was being a big pain in the ass. They finally found a landing spot for him, Ave, and they moved. They traded him for Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah.
Maybe some change.
Yeah, I think a little bit of change on the Warriors side.
Yeah. To the Warriors, Jimmy Buckets is wearing Butler the Third.
Yeah,
on his
first
jersey.
pops. Shout out to his pops.
He's wearing number 10. Usually number 21 or 22.
Yeah.
Sometimes 23. But definitely not number 10. So it's a new look for Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
So far, so good. Steph is scoring more. He has scored, I think, 20 and 25 or 20, something like that.
Steph's a little rejuvenated.
Yeah, Butler's, I'm sure, going to guard the 1 or 2 on the court.
Yeah,
and just
be
take
a
some
dog out
pressure
there
off of Curry to make plays and not have to be a part of every single play.
Right.
So it looks good. I think they're kind of on the cusp of playoffs, so they should be able to win a few more games now and make playoffs and kind of like. Well, they weren't seeded very high when they won the championship last time they won it.
I think they were.
Were they? I feel like they were a middle of the pack team that just won. Me.
I think they had it coming around like the end of the season, but I think they were pretty decent in that entire season.
My point was just going to be if they end up as a 7 or 8 seed, I wouldn't count them out.
You can't. It's Steph Curry.
Yeah. I think it's a great ad.
Dude, one thing I want to say, I saw like an interview with Steve Kerr, and he was devastated at that Andrew Wiggins loss because Andrew Wiggins was a player they traded for during that second championship run.
Yeah. And
he just blossomed in that environment, and he was so good for them in the playoff run and especially in the finals. So shout out to Andrew Wiggins in his Golden State era, but new one begins with the Miami Heat. I do think this will work out for the Warriors. It's a good pickup. I mean,
they paid him a ton of money, dude. You see that? 2
Wiggins
years,
or
120.
yeah, they did give him the bag.
That's crazy. Is he the highest paid player year over year? Does anyone else?
Well, everybody gets the next person's up that gets paid will be. So he probably is. Yeah. But I think Jaylen Brown's at 60 right now.
Warriors were the 3 seed.
Yeah.
They were 11 games behind the Phoenix Suns.
Suns.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the year after.
KD year?
No, that's probably the year after they went to the finals. Remember they went to the finals
with Ayton?
Yeah, with Ayton. D Book was the star. Chris Paul.
Yeah. I think you're right. That's probably still the CP team.
Yeah.
Dang.
But
the
Jimmy
Grizzlies.
Butler in the Warriors, it's a different fit for like the Warriors style of basketball. And he's not a 3-point shooter, but he's just a dog. He just knows how to play basketball. He does all the
They
right
don't
things.
need more 3-point shooting.
I mean, they lost Clay. I mean, they need some more balance. But I mean, they got the best
they got
3-point
Steph.
shooter of all time. Yeah.
And they got the dude who plays lacrosse. Did you see that?
Spencer?
There's
Oh no, the tall guy.
I don't know. He's number 61. I think it is. Maybe.
Oh, it is Spencer. So Spencer was his brother went to UConn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's a white dude?
Yeah, he's a white dude. I mean, he plays lacrosse.
Yeah. I didn't know. I'm just trying to confirm we're talking about the same guy. He wears like a black T-shirt under his jersey. Or maybe I don't know. Just one game. But yeah, he played.
He's a professional now.
He was the number 1 lacrosse player in the country. And then he went to the G League to play basketball. And then he cooked. And then he got a contract with the Warriors. And he's playing with Steph.
That's sick. Yeah, but his brother went to UConn and he got drafted by the Grizzlies. And he's like in between the G League and the NBA. But yeah, Jimmy Butler, Warriors, good combo. It's a little bit different. The Steve Kerr is going to make it work. You know, he's a pretty decent coach. I mean, he's got 4 rings.
Yeah.
They got Draymond still. They're at an advanced age, but they all know how to play. Jimmy Butler's been to the finals twice with the Heat.
Do they have a big there other than Draymond that they can count on?
No. So they got this one guy, this dude, he's just shooting threes now. So they got the guy that spaces the floor. He's been playing a lot recently. They picked him up from the G League team. But we'll see. We'll see what they can do. You know, they can make a run to that the play-in game and then maybe into the playoffs ultimately. But I mean, you gotta stir things up. You know, they weren't working currently, so they made that big trade, and let's see what they can do.
Yeah, I mean, so that trade looks like it's going to be very good for the Warriors. We'll see what happens with the Heat. One trade though that did not go through was Dalton Connect for Mark Williams between the Hornets and the Lakers.
Yeah.
Mark Williams didn't pass his physical, which sucks. And actually, I don't really get because I'm pretty sure he was dropping like 25-point
His stats are nice, yeah.
And the Lakers needed a big man badly. He's younger than Dalton Connect. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, he's really young. He's only 23, and I think Dalton Connect played until his senior year.
Yeah,
so he's like 24 or pushing it.
Got you.
And it was a better fit for the Lakers. They didn't need another 6'7" white dude. They already got 2 really good ones.
They traded for now.
So they traded for a 6'11" black guy.
Yeah.
And he was exactly what they needed.
Yeah.
It's a real shame he didn't pass his physical. If I'm the Lakers, I don't know if I don't say like, hey, that's all right. Yeah, like you're going to do a rehab for a week.
Yeah. So it was the Lakers doctors that did the physical on him, and they said this guy's bones or whatever it is, they're not going to last. Like he's been battling injuries all year, and they're like, we can't take this risk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so they did. All right, they did consider the future then in that case. Because for me, I'd have been like, all right, his knee's a little banged up, but he's.
We only need 1 or 2 years. LeBron's only got a couple years left. We got Luka for the long haul.
Yeah, so that stinks. That didn't go through.
But talk about Dalton Connect, a rookie, his first year in the NBA. He gets traded. He's literally like on a plane to Charlotte, like he's about to suit up for them, and then it gets rescinded. You fly back to LA. And now you have to like your mind state of that. Like, how do you process
and
that?
it's like, well, you're still looking for a big. So am I still?
Am I in the rotation anymore? Yeah. Well, they're trade. It's over. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
So like, am I still?
They got to figure that out.
Am I like on the roster? Like, what's going to happen here? Am I like out of the rotation? Like, I'm a rookie, and like this is all happening so fast, and like he has to get back with the team and figure out his place on the team to even compete. Like, does he have a slot in the team? Like, I don't.
I mean, I don't know. He's got to play. He's gonna play.
But
it sucks for the Lakers, really. I mean, the Lakers planned on him not being there, and they built. I mean, they have Luka now.
Yeah,
and they have a guy. They need a big, and they don't have one. Mm-hmm. So
they got Jackson Hayes though. He's an athletic.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's a big.
He's athletic. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he can't have.
All he has to do is run up and down the court and be able to catch the ball and dunk it. You got Luka and Bron.
Exactly. Well, I will say though, not passing the physical and moving on from the player, I guess it's better that way than what happened to the Mavs, right? Because Anthony Davis did pass his physical, and then he's balling out. It's 26 points or something like that, 16 rebounds in 3 quarters, and then non-contact injury. It looked like a groin. I think I read it was
abdominal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because he was opening up. It looked like someone was coming down the lane, and he opened up to try to defend him. And I thought he held his groin area. But either way, it looked like he pulled something in a non-contact injury. So big bummer for the Mavs. I mean, hopefully he can come back. They looked very competitive with him on the court.
Dude.
So
it sucks for the Mavs fans, dude, out there. It's just like
if I knew one, I would console them as best I could.
100%, dude. I would give them a shoulder to cry on all that. Like it's so unfortunate because they just traded away a 25-year-old potential MVP player.
I can't stop thinking about how it's purposeful, and they just want to go to Vegas because the woman won't let them. She's a casino owner, the woman who bought it from Cuban. Okay. And they won't let her build a casino onto the stadium. And so people are thinking she's going to tank the team. Okay. But, they said, fine. She said, fine, I'll move it to Vegas. And they said, no, the Mavs fans are too loyal. Mm-hmm. And like it's too big of a deal for the community. And she said, well, I'll tank the team then. And then you won't show up. And then I'll move it. That sounds a little bit ridiculous. And I don't believe that necessarily. Yeah. However, it takes me back to when I said, if you're not going to give the Supermax to Luka, then who are you going to give it to? Who are you willing to give it to? It's going to go to someone eventually. You have to pay somebody. Or you just keep selling players after year 3 or 4.
But then nobody's going to ever want to play for your franchise.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, there's no winning here other than you win this year. And like Anthony Davis is great. And him and Kyrie play 5 years longer than they were supposed to.
Yeah. The only thing I don't know about the AD injury, they said he may be out for longer than the 2 weeks that they initially diagnosed. I hope that doesn't happen because the playoffs are right around the corner.
Yeah, that sucks. They got to make it.
Yeah, that was a blockbuster trade, but I'm hoping for his health and hopefully he returns quicker than later.
Yeah, his trade partner, Luka Doncic, though, did make his debut as well. Yeah. Was not as exciting as AD's, except he finished. And
he did play all 4 quarters.
He will be playing again tomorrow.
Yes.
But I think it was like 14, 5, and 5.
Yeah, the stats weren't that crazy for like that blockbuster ever trade. But he also is coming back from a calf strain. Yeah. And the Lakers blew out whoever they were playing. It was like 130 to like 105 or something like that. So
I'm not sure when he plays well.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many minutes he played there. Bron had a great game. Reeves had a great game. So they're out there flying from this trade. I think they've won 11 out of the last 13. So they were playing well before the trade. And they looking to continue that hot streak. They're 32-19 on the season now. So like, sky's the ceiling.
Yeah. That's what they say. You know, he did something cool. Luka did do though. He tied Bronny James for all-time Laker points.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so
dude, this guy is going through fame.
He's already breaking records.
I didn't think that trade could be that good that soon.
Yeah, unbelievable. One last NBA update though, Ave. Joel Embiid has been playing a couple more games, but I'm kind of confused on whether he's going to continue playing or not. Yep. I heard he needs knee surgery again, but he doesn't want to do it because it's gonna be a long recovery. Yeah, and he wants to play. I kind of felt that sentiment his whole career. Other people seem to disagree, which I can totally see, but it doesn't feel like a Kawhi Leonard situation to me where he's sat all the time. Yeah. This year we've mentioned it on the podcast. It felt strategic the whole way through. Again, they say he needs knee surgery. That just sucks. There's nothing around it, and he's gonna play through it for the rest of the year, because he wants to, and then he'll probably get it in the off season after we get kicked out of the playoffs,
and then be out for like half the season next year.
Yeah, so I don't see how. Maybe they couldn't, but I don't see how we didn't try to move him in the off season.
I mean, you can't. His contract's huge, and his health is such a concern. Nobody's going to want to pay that amount of money. I understand how great he is. He's the top 5 player in the NBA when he's healthy.
I mean, people just paid Jimmy Butler 2 years, $60 million.
He's on the court every single game. But
I guess.
Besides when he doesn't want to play.
I feel like if you could get Embiid to sign a 2-year, you would do it. Well, not right now because he's not playing at all. But over the summer after the Olympics, no one knew he was hurt. Philly fans didn't know he was hurt.
No. Dude, I don't really understand where. So he did have one knee surgery. I don't know when that was because he got hurt in the playoffs. I want to say like he got hurt real bad in the playoffs, and then he came back and played.
Has it not been both knees? I know it was a foot.
I'm not sure.
I think it's been both feet and a knee or something like that.
But I think he should take the surgery now because the Sixers can make the playoffs with Maxey and Paul George. But Maxey's been playing out of his mind lately. I think he had like 35 in like some crazy straight amount of games. So he's been playing really, really well. So I would say Embiid, like, get healthy. Like, I want you to be able to walk after you retire. So I would do this knee surgery now, take as much time as you need before the start of next season, and then try and run it from there.
I mean, there's no, I totally, it's hard to say I totally agree, but I think I do in a sense that we're not winning a championship this year.
With you being half healthy, there's no shot.
Yeah, there's almost no shot with you being healthy.
Yeah.
We're not playing that well.
Yeah.
But it still sucks to say, like, to tell an athlete, yeah, you're not going to play. And he's like, but I can play 60%. It's not worth it. And
It's not.
And then you don't miss next year.
Exactly. You don't miss half of next season. And then when you get back, you have to get ramped up to the game. And then the playoffs are right there. And then like you miss like 2 seasons by delaying this surgery at the moment.
Yeah, I don't see a real reason unless we were top 5 seed to delay it.
Right. Dude, and it's such a shame because last season pre-injury, when he got hurt in the middle of the season, we were like the number 1 seed. We were doing so well. Yeah. And then injuries happen and
it sucks. Yeah. He's like Yao Ming.
He's just too big, dude. Like he's 7 foot, 300 pounds. Like there's so much weight and these injuries are way worse.
And Jokic plays much more smooth. Like Embiid will pick up the ball, take 2 monster steps from the 3-point line and try to dunk it. Yeah. Like an idiot. Yeah. And he'll fall and hurt his knee. Yeah. All right, enough NBA. We got to get you out of here. UFC came and went. The main fight was, I don't know how to say his first name. Dricus du Plessis from South Africa against Sean Strickland of the USA. Pretty much went down the way we said it was going to, as far as who was going to win and how it was going to work. Yeah. Do you want to talk the people through?
I mean, it was kind of a snooze fest, but Dricus du Plessis just outclassed kind of a striker. Like Sean Strickland didn't really know what to do. He didn't know when to punch because his style is so awkward. And it basically eliminated his whole offense throughout the whole fight. So Dricus just took advantage of him, basically won every single round, broke his nose in round 2, and just pretty much dominated him from there. Didn't do any wrestling. Like he outstruck the striker. Yeah. So
he swings so weirdly and just moves so awkwardly.
But he's so aggressive though. Like he's always doing something.
Yeah. So you have a guy who's well practiced in striking like Strickland, and it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure. And like I'd made the same analogy last week, but the effectively wild fastball. It's like, yeah, I can hit. If you throw fastballs down the middle and I'm a fastball hitter, I don't care how fast it is. Right. I can beat you, kind of like Strickland as the striker. Yeah. But you start throwing it at my chin and then at my toe and then right down the middle. I don't know. It doesn't matter if I'm a fastball hitter. I don't know how to react to it. Yeah. So du Plessis won the way we thought. He did call out Pereira, or if it wasn't at the fight, then he had in the past. I don't know if you saw this, but Pereira, they fought at 185. Strickland and du Plessis did. Yeah. Pereira said, let's make it happen at 205. And du Plessis said, you got it.
Oh my gosh. That's a problem for du Plessis.
It is. And he will lose. However, he'll keep his belt. Yeah. So I think if he puts up a good fight, he'll probably ask Pereira to come down to 185. And then Pereira will try to run it back and take his belt. And they'll see how, like, I don't know. Fighters go downhill very quickly. So you've seen Pereira got knocked out by Izzy. Yeah. I think he has won since. Or has he not fought since?
Who, Pereira? Yeah. Pereira's undefeated since he
since Izzy knocked him out. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So he's undefeated since Izzy knocked him out. If du Plessis puts up a good fight, that's like 3 or 4 more fights since being KO'd. Then he fights du Plessis again. I mean, they run out of gas quickly. I remember watching Usman dominate everybody. And
well, he has no knees, though. Like, he's had no knees for a long time, and then it just caught up to him.
So that could be cool. I think Pereira would whoop his ass at 205.
I do too. Like, it's just one shot with Pereira. Like, Strickland's a great striker, but like he doesn't have the same power that Pereira has.
Well, and I think Pereira, this is kind of dumb, but like just being from Brazil and kind of being more what's the word? It starts with an E.
Say it.
Well, I would if I could think of it.
Say the sentence again.
He's from Brazil.
Electric.
Kind of. He's just more. I don't know, Strickland or Gaethje or Poirier are like American strikers are like more boxy-ish, where I think the Muay Thai
Eclectic.
The kickboxer.
Brazilian movement is going to lend better to trying to fight against Duplessis, who's a little bit of a wild card. It's not as fundamental. I feel like he's going to deal with erratic.
Well,
Erratic.
he just got
movements
the great
better.
equalizer in that one punch or one kick. It's quiet for you, like it's chalk, especially at
That's a good
205.
point. I just think he's not going to be as intimidated or as confused by an interesting fight. Like you look at Charles Oliveira too, who's another Brazilian, or Anderson Silva. It's all like a little bit different. It's like weird. They're more. They move differently.
Yeah,
they'll come at you from the side and hit you in the chin just so they can pop you up top and then kick you in the knee. And it's like, oh, but being from that area, I think would lend better to fighting a guy like Duplessis versus a Strickland who's taught how to strike in a gym, and wherever he's from.
Yeah.
Good on UFC?
Yeah, I'm good on UFC. I was just gonna I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
The people are gonna want to hear now.
I forget what I was gonna say.
Damn.
It was something about Pereira. Oh, I was gonna say, dude, the fact that he doesn't speak any English in like the lead up to the fights is gonna be so much more scarier for Duplessis. Like, I feel like Duplessis, like, he's not like a big shit talker, but like he will do some shit talking, and like Alex Pereira just like, Shama. Like, It's not gonna get into his mind at all. Yeah.
That makes him more intimidating.
Dude, it's so scary, dude.
I'm gonna say something real quick that is not on here, but I do want to share. For hockey, it's definitely not as big as the Olympics or the World Cup, if there is one of hockey, or any sort of like European Cup. However, there's the Four Nations Cup coming up. I think it's.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
I don't know if it's the first time they've done it, but
that's gonna be fire. It's like Finland, USA.
Finland.
I don't know the other two.
Oh, well, okay. It's Finland, USA, Sweden, and Canada.
Okay.
The only country left, I would say, is like Russia that could be on that. But those are four powerhouses of hockey.
Yeah.
So the way it's going to work is it's going to be a round robin. So everybody's going to play everybody, and then the best two teams with the two most points advance.
Oh, it's so fire.
A win in regulation's 3 points. A win in overtime is 2.
Oh, it's 2.
A loss in overtime is 1, and a loss in regular is 0.
Okay. I like that format.
Yeah, So I actually did a study on this. They do that in hockey to incentivize not going to OT, because a lot of times a win was 2 in regulation, and then a win was 2 in overtime, but a loss was 1.
Gotcha.
And so teams were tied when like 5 minutes left would just play safe and go to overtime, guarantee 1 point, or maybe getting 2 versus one of us is going to have 0.
Gotcha.
And it was the viewership was plummeting. And so they made that new rule, and it's been great, and it's been more exciting because it's worth scoring before getting to overtime.
Because you get more points.
You get 3 points.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I got through everything I wanted to say there. That's how it's going to be laid out. Just those 4 countries. Again, not the biggest cup in the world, but still thought it was interesting. They're sending their number 1 teams. Like, these teams are stacked.
Is this middle of the season, middle of the NHL season, or just
it starts tomorrow?
Okay,
well, I guess when this
season
drops, it'll start today. So February 12th.
Okay, so it might be like All-Star break-ish during the NHL season, or that already happened?
They definitely did that already.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
it's
just a mid-season cup.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I wanted to get that in. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Other than that, you want to go to golf or soccer?
Golf.
All right, so there was the Waste Management Open, which is at TPC Phoenix. I think that's what it's called. Out in Phoenix, TPC Scottsdale. TPC Scottsdale. A few famous holes there. I want to say, I want to say 16 is the hole in, or is the par 3 with this crowd all the way from tee box down to the hole, down to the green. That you will get booed if you shoot poorly there, but they do a lot of celebrity shots like throughout the weekend for fun.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple very, very close hole-in-ones, but I do not believe there was a hole-in-one this weekend at that hole. Really?
Yes.
You got some news for me. I know Park Ho Kim got really close.
We have an Emiliano Grillo. So it's got to be an Italian man.
You would think so.
He did do a hole-in-one.
Was this on the last day? Do you know?
I do not know. Let's look it up.
You don't even have the winner on this.
No, I do not.
He was. Well, go ahead. You're doing your
Hole
thing.
in one at Fame's 16th hole at Phoenix Open sparks massive fan celebration. I'm not seeing anything on which day it was.
Whatever. It's fine.
But the Italian man, yeah. Dude, no, not Italian.
Spanish.
No,
Colombian.
no. South America, though.
Grillo. Spanish or Mexican?
South American.
Oh yeah, that's not. I grouped them together.
Jesus.
I have no idea.
Argentine.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have went there. There were. I didn't think there were any hole outs. Where I was going with mine, where there were 3 dunks. I think they were all eagles, but they weren't even like roll in. They were boom.
Right into, ooh,
Yeah, 3
plopping
times.
in there.
DeChambeau was one of them, and I forget who the other 2 were. The winner won by 5 strokes, 6 strokes. I think he was 23 under or 24 under.
24 under.
And then I think 18 under was second place.
Tom
And people
Petrie.
competed. I saw like Scheffler was in this tournament, Dustin Johnson, DeChambeau. They all played.
So that was the hole in one was on Friday. It was on the second
Wow,
round.
I just missed it then.
Yeah.
I just missed it.
But it was Tom Detry, I think, that took home the cake.
Yes,
I'm making
sir.
that up. Thomas Detry.
Yeah, he was just locked in. He his approach shots
Jesus.
were just leaving him around the pin all day,
So
and he just
he won by 7 strokes.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
24 to what then?
17.
17. Wow.
17 under. Sheesh.
Yeah,
He was cooking. Dude, I have some fun stats on the stands that are accompanying the 16th hole.
Oh sure, yeah.
So it's actually called the Coliseum, which
Okay.
is pretty sick. You know, shout out to the Romans out there.
Yeah.
It's 160 yard
Shout
par
out
3.
Emanuelano Grillo,
Shout out Emiliano Grillo.
who's from Rome.
It's from Rome, yeah, of course, obviously, the Italian man. All right, so the stand is inspired after a Tiger Woods hole-in-one in '97. So it wasn't there before that, but they saw the interest in that hole, that it could be a potential, hole-in-one opportunity. So they constructed this stand. And currently, the stadium holds around 20,000 fans and has 300 skyboxes.
That hole by itself?
Yes.
Wow.
It takes around 4 months to construct this stand. It's a temporary stand.
Dang.
It only stays up for this weekend and then like about a week after.
Yeah, that there's some golfers who do content there. So I've seen it up with them empty because they're golfing there, but I didn't realize it was only up for like a week. Wow.
Yeah. And then so like I said, they do this event, they leave the stands up for about a week or so. And then it takes them 2 months to take this thing down. And then
Why?
the reason for it is because they want to maintain the course around it, and this would prevent them from maintaining the entire course. And I think there's some laws out there in that area of Arizona which prevent them from keeping the stand up the whole year. But
They're losing so much money on that, I bet. I
Yeah.
mean, they're making plenty, but wow, that's
so I think there's an outside company that actually sets it up. Like it's not
sure. Yeah,
it's
but
not
they have to pay them.
I think it's like a charity, to be honest with you. I was reading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like I don't know if they do it for free or for a good cause or something. So yeah, but it's I don't know. I thought that stuff was pretty cool. I saw some
That
tweets
is
about
cool.
it.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, and it's a temporary structure, and they put it up for one event every year.
I mean, I could believe it's temporary based on the way it's built, but the fact that it takes 4 months, that's half the year it takes
Yes.
to put up and take down, and
Yes.
it's only up for 2 weeks.
Yes,
It's crazy.
insane.
All
got
right, well,
anything
shout out Debt Tree.
Thomas Detry. Yeah.
I don't know him.
I don't know.
if
He's
I
a
should.
Belgian guy.
Mike would or wouldn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's Belgian. That's right.
Said he went to University of Illinois or something like that.
Mike would have been a good one to pick his brain on. But all I know is the field was legit. It wasn't like a half-ass
yeah,
field.
for
And
sure.
He beat them all. So
By a wide margin.
yeah, by 7 strokes.
Crazy.
Hey, now. Soccer, Ave, talk me through it.
Dude, the pool. We were just talking about them having an incredible season. They're doing so well in the Champions League, so well in the Premier League. But in a domestic cup this past weekend, the FA Cup, the Football Association's Cup, which is every single team from England that's in league football or non-league football is in this. So it's like 7 tiers of teams in this cup.
All from England.
All from England, yeah. And maybe a couple from Wales. There's like, yeah. But Liverpool lost to Plymouth Argyle, who formerly managed by
Rude Van Nistelrooy.
Wayne Rooney this season. He had them sitting in 24th place in the championship, which is the second tier of English soccer. 24 out of 24 teams. So they're the last place team.
They got rated 10th best league in the world, by the way. How funny
The
is that?
football championship?
Yeah. So
That's
two
insane.
English leagues are in the top 10. Yeah. MLS was 9 or 8 or something like that.
Really? Football? Okay, so we're above them. Okay.
But they're higher than the Saudi league.
Yeah.
The championship. So that's, I don't know.
Dude, isn't it funny that they're called the championship and like that's like not their pinnacle of sport?
Yeah.
And it's
Premier
hilarious.
Premier League is one.
Yeah,
Like
I was-
technically first. but-
Dude, I remember one time I was talking to a kid, and this was in college, and it was when Crystal Palace just like the first time they got promoted to the Premier League, and I was talking about them. It was like after their first season because they got demoted the next year, and we were like, yeah, they're having a bad season. I know they got promoted, like they're cool, they got the cheerleaders, all that, but they're in the championship this year. It's like, yo, that's sick. He thought it was a
saying
good
that's
thing,
sick?
yeah.
Wow, that's funny.
And I was like, no,
No, that's
sir.
bad.
But
Yeah.
anyway, back to Liverpool. They lost to Plymouth Argyle in
Wow.
the FA Cup I think it was the 4th round. But it's just the magic of
So are they out?
They're out the FA Cup, yeah.
Wow, I love that.
They're out of the FA Cup, so they don't have a chance to go for the treble, the domestic treble this year. Dude, it's insane. The magic of the cup, like anything can happen. That's why we play sports. That's why I love sports so much.
People laugh at the FA Cup. People being me, so maybe it's just me. But it's like, when is there going to be a non-Premier League winner? Like, why would a League 2 or League 3 or League 4 team ever win? And it's like they might not, or it's very, very rare. But the opportunity for a League 2 or League 3 or League 4 team from England to just compete as the best team in England, regardless of what league I'm in, I get to do this.
Playing a 60,000 seater stadium.
Yeah, you get to play against Arsenal and Man City and Man United and Liverpool and sometimes win, which is like the whole point. And so that is really cool. I'm a hater sometimes with the FA Cup because whatever, Man U wins it and it's like, okay, you beat everyone's backups, including, and you played your backups
the whole time. Yeah. Your
until the
third string goalie is
championship.
playing every game.
Right. So, but that is sick. Like that's still, they'll never forget that game.
Never. The fans will never forget it. Like, it's just an awesome moment. It's another reason, like I said, why I love sports, why we play the game. Like, anything can happen, you know, and a smaller, lower level team can go into Liverpool and win. So, crazy.
Yeah. And then our boy who cannot shoot historically.
Left foot, right foot.
This year cannot stop scoring.
He's a beast.
Ousmane Dembele, formerly of Barcelona, now at PSG. The Frenchman has 15 goals in 2025.
Yeah, already, brother.
And 23 on the season. So dating back to the beginning of the season. 2 goals against Brest yesterday.
Against the Brest, yeah.
Or today.
Today.
Wow.
Champions League, the first leg of the playoffs.
We were talking about how excited we were to watch Brest.
I know.
And
they let in 2.
And they let in 2. From Dembele.
He
always plays well with Brest.
Always. Never seen him.
But he notoriously is a dribbler, passer, creator, not really a scorer, but it'd be fun to watch him come to fruition. He's always, I would say, underperformed for his career. Not like he's bad, but he could have been a star boy. Yeah.
He's got spurts where he's the best player in the world, and then he'll just have like a bad run of form, and you're just like, what are you doing out there?
Yeah, and very injury prone too.
Very injury prone, yes.
So success would be fun, in my opinion, for him.
And like, it's crazy because like he's probably like 26 years old.
Yeah, he's not old.
Like, he's been pro and he's been on the top level teams for like the last 8 years. So it's like maybe something just clicked now, and you know, he's back at home. He's in France. Like,
yep. I mean, at Dortmund he was great. That's how he got to Barca.
Right.
And then he got hurt a ton at Barca.
Dude, I still remember that one chance in the Champions League that he missed, allowing, I think, Liverpool to come back in the next game. Like, they were up like 3-0, and like it's like the 94th minute, Messi lays it off to him, wide open goal. He just misses it, and then that like was like the downfall of Barcelona.
The beginning of the end. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Dembele's been great. Last thing we have for soccer.
Another Champions League fixture today. This was the big one. Been talking about it all week, but Manchester City versus Real Madrid. First leg in Manchester. I thought Manchester United or Manchester.
Wow.
Getting a little ahead of myself.
Wow.
Manchester City was going to pull this thing off. They were up most of the game. Haaland had a brace. They were ahead in like the 80th minute. And then Brahim Diaz came on and scored one for Madrid. And then ultimately, Jude Bellingham, 90th minute plus 2 of extra time, finishes it.
He's so good at that. He's so clutch.
He's a clutch player. Yeah. He's such a clutch player.
He's a clutch player.
Clutch player. And so, yeah, Man City loses to Real Madrid 3-2 in the first leg of their playoff match.
Well, I'm very, very happy about that for you, for one. But also, I didn't tell anybody, but I put a Futures Championship winners bet in. And I had the Eagles winning, and I also have Madrid winning the
Champions League, so back to back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do indeed. I think they're the strongest team in the world right now.
I mean, they have the best players in the world. They just bought Mbappe.
They do.
Well, they didn't bought Mbappe. They got him for free. And Mbappe's scoring goals now, too. Like, he's got some serious numbers.
There was no way he was going to go the whole year without figuring it out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I could see going from League One to La Liga, why it might take some time.
And Real Madrid.
Yeah, and Real Madrid, where there's huge expectations and there's a ton of other great players with you. But the second he starts playing at 75% of what he's capable of, which he has, they're going to be dominant, and we just saw that happen today.
Right. So Mbappe scores one, Brahim Diaz scores one, and Jude Bellingham for Madrid. And then Haaland had a brace today. He had one PK, but still, Haaland's always in the goals. So let's see what's happening next week, though. I'm excited for that, the remontada that we're going to see next week. Let's see who advances. Hopefully it's Madrid, because we've got some money on the line. Well, and by we, I mean you.
Me, yeah. I put like a $1 bet to win $1,700, but I don't want to spoil the rest of my winners. But Eagles are locked, and
let's go.
I have Madrid for the.
What's the cash at looking like right now?
90 cents.
Nah, don't take it. Don't take.
Not until I make profit. Do you want to cover this last segment, or
sure?
Okay.
We'll breeze by it, but some little college hoops action. It's getting closer to March, so we're gonna be more in that area, especially with the NFL season coming to a close. But Duke had a 17-game win streak that just ended this past week to Clemson. I mean, it's conference play. They know each other so well. Cooper Flag didn't have his best game, so 16-game winning streak is still crazy though. But it did come to an end. Did you hear the name for Cooper Flag's fan base?
No.
Alex is gonna like this one, but they are the Flaggets.
Nice. Alex does like that one.
Is that real?
It's real. It's a real thing. Yeah, the Flaggets are real, and they're
real. Yeah, and they're Cameron crazy.
Did they name themselves?
The crazy Flaggets.
The crazy Flaggets are nuts, bro. No, they probably didn't name themselves yet. But yeah, be aware the Flaggets are out there.
Did. Yeah.
Another story: the back-to-back defending national champions have dropped out of the top 25. This is coming off of a loss to St. John's, who's leading the Big East right now. That's something to watch out for. But then also the SEC is super dominant. I don't know if you've been watching this year.
They're turning into a basketball conference.
Dude, honestly, they have 9 teams in the top 25.
Wow. Who's there that usually isn't? Like in Arkansas, maybe?
Arkansas is not in it, but Calipari is at Arkansas this year.
Oh, They're like 500.
Yeah, they're like 500.
Right?
They will be good.
Not Kentucky should
Kentucky's
be there.
great.
Florida's great.
Auburn's number one.
Auburn's a sneaky great SEC basketball.
Mississippi State's up there.
Wow.
You said Florida, but Florida hasn't been good for a while.
Yeah, I know, but they're still, for me, like, I still think of
Joakim. Tennessee's great. I'm trying to think of who else.
Alabama's been good. Are they top 25 right now?
Bama's top 4.
Ever since Sexton, they've been good.
I want to see their wankings. But yeah,
you want to see the wankings?
Yeah.
Hey, it's a family-friendly show.
I'll grab them.
What are you looking up there?
It's Auburn.
Let's go.
Alabama, Duke, Florida, Tennessee, Houston, Purdue, Texas A&M, St. John's, and Iowa State at top 10. Reeves. You want any more?
No, that's fine.
That's perfect.
Is A&M SEC or Big 12?
A&M is SEC. Is
that right?
A&M, Texas A&M, SEC. They've always been SEC.
I'm stupid.
Yeah, SEC.
What does A&M stand for? Trivia. We got a little trivia.
Arlington and Massachusetts. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mechanics.
What you didn't
It's
say it.
mechanical, yeah.
You didn't say it. What is
He
it?
said agriculture.
Agricultural
And I
and
said
mechanical.
Texas Agricultural Mechanics University. I hate
thought
it.
it was a
I hate
farming
it.
thing. They're culty.
They
Go to
are
A&M
culty.
and
Really?
It's like
Dude,
Penn
it's
State.
it's in the middle of nowhere.
It's
It's Texas, real
Good
country.
school.
It is a really good school.
Yeah.
Best stadiums, atmosphere.
Dude, it's like 110,000 in there. Yeah, it's crazy. Football school, yeah, it's big. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah, basketball will be fun this year. Cooper Flag, can maybe carry Duke all on his own, but there's a couple of freshmen
They have
there
a-
that are great.
Dude, Duke's team is really good, and
Yeah.
they're like well balanced as well. They got a lot of upperclassmen to their young mix, so they're really really good.
Yeah, I like Duke a lot, but the SEC, I feel like playing each other all year is going to help them a lot.
That's a
when they
good
get to
yeah.
March Madness.
That's a big point.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. March is near. Yeah, it is next month.
Next month,
But I feel like March Madness is way at the end of March.
Yeah, it leads out into April.
yeah. And
But like the tournaments start for the conference started like mid March.
oh, does that count as March Madness?
I mean, technically, yeah. Like March,
Yeah.
like the tournament.
It's part of getting into the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't call the tournament March Madness. I just call like in general the games March Madness. Like the games
Yes.
that like happen towards the end of the year. That's just all a part of the madness. But the tournament specifically for me is not March Madness.
Oh, see, the tournament specifically for me is, but I'm wrong, and that's fine, and that's okay.
Yeah, you can be wrong.
All right, I guess that takes us to our 2-minute drill. We try to get through that pretty quickly, Abe. I know you wanted to be out of here like 15 minutes ago, but if you can bear with us for 2 more minutes, we can make this quick.
Yes.
I can lead off. I don't really have much, except I believe Jalen Hurts is the third quarterback to win a national championship and a Super Bowl from the SEC,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool. And then my other one is super random. It's from baseball. The top 10 hardest hit balls last year, that list consists of O'Neal Cruz, Giancarlo Stanton, and that's it.
You said top 10?
Yeah. It was Cruz,
Cruz Messiah.
Stanton, Cruz.
Wow.
Those are yeah.
Dude, Mike still got it.
He hits the ball hard when he does hit it.
When he makes contact, it goes far.
Yeah. So that's mine. Jessica, you got a 2-minute drill for us today?
Yeah, so the Eagles arrived home today, and I thought it was super cool. You got to see first the fans were lining up, like they had a really great welcome for them, and Jeffrey Lurie and all the dudes, they came with the Lombardi Trophy, and they brought it right to them, and they like literally were like the news was like, how does that feel? And they were just like really happy. Like it's like not only do they have a good culture, I feel like inside, but like they are allowing Philly to really feel like they're part of the team. Like the people were like, they love us. They brought it over here. Like they really felt connected. And then
It's a great team.
It's a great org.
Yeah.
It's a
they
great
like
org.
said we
It
could
is a great
like we almost could
organization.
touch it. Like that's how close he brought it. And they also were like leaving, and all the fans were watching them leave, and it was really nice to see the guys leave. But Saquon for some reason was like in a golf cart, and he was like really out and about, and he looked like he was like injured. Like he had his hood up, and he was just like
Just a hangover.
yeah, he looked like that's what it was.
Super Bowl hangover, obviously.
That's all.
Thank you, Jessica. That
Thank
was
you,
great.
Jessica.
Go Birds.
I don't have anything specifically. I just was looking through my Instagram feed to like see what I liked in the past couple of days. It's just Eagles posts. Like the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Some people on Broad Street, just like the most random things or anything Eagles I've liked, and that's all I've been doing for the past 2 days.
I just did the same thing. That's why I ripped off the most random baseball stat.
Yeah.
I just saw it the other day.
I'll give you one thing. I'll say that Devontae Smith is from Louisiana. His last high school game, he lost the state championship in that same building, the Superdome, and then he went back this year and he won the championship.
I think he's
Which is pretty
also
cool.
won. He's the third
Heisman.
player to do Heisman, National Championship, and Super
Yeah.
Bowl. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there goes episode 29. We missed Mike again. He's in busy
He's on loan.
season,
Yeah,
as
he's
I'm
on
sure
loan.
he would tell everybody. Actually, his contract ran up, but we didn't re-sign him. We're trying to break it to you nicely, but that's the truth. Appreciate you sharing the bants with us, and we will see you next week.
I'm signing off like this.
Oh, yeah. See ya.